Uh, Hello, and welcome to another session of the Eddie Blues Online Music Lessons. This video is a continuation of the last video, which was about tuning the guitar. Okay, so this is going to be a continuation of that video, only that this time I'm going to be tuning the bass. Okay, I have here an acoustic bass in my hand, and what I discussed in the last video, tuning the electric guitar, is that I did explain that even though there is a tuning device on the market, that my preferred way of tuning is the old-fashioned way, and I conducted that video tuning the guitar using the tuning fork. Okay, and I did explain that, having used that method over the years, I think it's a better method to use than a tuning device, because when you use the tuning fork, eventually you gradually develop a sense of hearing for the tone of the strings. There's a certain sequence of tone that you're used to getting when you tune the guitar with the tuning fork, and obviously over the years of doing that, you will eventually develop a keen sense of hearing for that, how the sequence of tone when the strings are sung when they're in tune, and based upon that tonality that you're adjusted to, you can in turn, at times, tune, even if it's just for a quick, just quick messing around on the instrument, or if there's an absence of a tuning machine or a tuning fork, you could rely on that sense of hearing to, sort of like gauge the string. At times, it's certainly not going to be perhaps accurate as using a tuning fork, but certainly to the point where you can discern, somewhat of a reasonable tonality. At least you could hear the scales, run the scales, and so forth, for the purpose of just messing around. Or even if you go to a music store, pick up an instrument, there's no tuner or no tuning fork in hand, you could just quickly, adjust the strings and start jamming. Okay, and the way I explained the guitar is that we tune the A string to the tuning fork, and in turn we tune the E to the A, hitting the interval, the fret, the fifth fret on the E, and the seventh fret on the A. And after we tune the E to the A, then we tune the D to the A, and then the G to the D. Okay, the difference between the guitar and the bass is that the bass guitar has the first four strings of the guitar. So this bass guitar here, as I said, it's an acoustic, but it's also electrical. I could also electrify and as well, use the acoustic as an acoustic guitar. So that once we're finished tuning the first four strings of the bass guitar, we're done. On the guitar, on the other hand, having tuned the full strings from the E to the G, we would still have to tune two more strings, the B and the E, high E. Okay, so as I've said, that based upon a kind of tonality that your sense of hearing has been adjusted to over the years of tuning with the tuning fork, and for those of you who would like to, reference the previous video with the tuning of the guitar, in which case I showed step by step using a tuning fork, you can refer to that video and then, sort of like come back to this video here and pretty much sense what I'm saying here. Okay, it's pretty much the same routine, because the bass guitar only has the first four strings, so it's the same routine. Okay, once you finish tuning the fourth string on the bass guitar, you're done, unlike the electric guitar. So what I was saying is that when you mess with that tuning for a while, you get a sense of like the sequence of strings, how it sounds when it's properly tuned. And the songs that it would usually, to me, ring in my ears would be like bum 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 bum, like bum 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 bum. And so based upon that somewhat of a, sequence of tone right there, I could gauge pretty much without a tuner, electric tuner or tuning machine, or the fart. I could, for the sake of on the run, like just quickly picking up the instrument and tuning, I could sort of like use that same tuning. And again, look at me as I go about doing that. Okay, so as you can see, as I messed around, I kind of like, get closer to that tone, that tuning. But essentially, that's what I'm talking about. You're talking about, being able to pick up the guitar or the bass guitar and try to, based upon your hearing of the strings, the tuned strings, and try to, sort of like work with that as you adjust the strings. And so, pretty much it involves that kind of a routine. Okay, no, it's not this guitar, this bass guitar is certainly not perfectly tuned, but at least you could certainly. Okay, so basically, as I said, if you listen to the strings like pluck them, you could certainly discern the major scale somewhat. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, 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 ti, do, ti. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Okay, so pretty much that's pretty much what I would tell you that this sort of emergency, what I would say emergency tuning would resort to. It would resort to just using your sense of hearing and work with the strings. And once you feel that you. Okay, so that's pretty much, what that would entail, and I will conclude this video with that. As you can tell, I was just pretty much, getting into it, and the more I get in, sort of like kicking in that sort of jazz, like, feel, walking the bass and so on in the jazz tradition. And so I hope that again, if you, for some reason, if you did not see the first video, tuning the guitar, I would suggest that you refer to that video, and where the tuning process with the tuning fork, it's been completely demonstrated, step by step manner. Okay, as I said, it's the same four strings, the first four strings, as the bass guitar, only that the bass guitar has four strings and the guitar has six strings. So it's the same first four strings as the guitar, and so that you could pretty much apply the same procedure on this fingerboard as was demonstrated on the electric guitar. Okay, and again, take, with the fret, the position is where I indicated. You refer to the subsequent strings following the A string with the tuning fork. Okay, and I hope you learned something from this video, and you have a good day. Thank you.